Swamp People is History Channel's one-of-a-kind action reality TV series that features locals from the Atchafalaya River Basin in their day-to-day activities. Living in the biggest swamp and wetlands in U.S., Atchafalaya forces its human inhabitants to hunt with tooth and nail to survive, especially when one considers the fact that this place has a massive concentration of American alligators, who pose an extreme threat to all the communities enveloped by the bayou. The show started in 2010 and has been progressing strongly ever since. With over 227 episodes and 13 seasons, throughout its duration, it's featured numerous residents from the area as individual cast members, having eventually expanded to cover homes even outside the Atchafalayan Basin, including the swamplands of Texas, as well as other parts of Louisiana. While most of the show is centered around alligator hunting, there are also episodes featuring basic fishing and hunting for entirely different animals, a move that came naturally as the show became more about the swamp life itself than alligator hunting, although that's still the main gig. Most of the action in the show is filmed around the month of September each year, when alligator season opens up its first Wednesday for the next 30 days. During this time, the locals, many from families that settled in the area centuries ago, follow the well-established alligator hunting tradition that provides most of their livelihood. Of course, there are other factors to consider, which makes the 30-day activities much more complicated, and with that, the show much more interesting. These are mostly related to the ever-shifting bayou weather that can sometimes ruin up to a whole week of hunting, as well as rather strict hunting regulations in place to protect the alligator population from extinction, as their numbers have been dwindling steadily for many years. To ensure that there's no cheating in the process, the state provides the hunters with a finite number of tags, which they must put on alligator carcasses after hunting them down. With each kill having to sport a different tag, the state ensures that the hunters will end their spree once they tag out or run out of tags. Hence, each culling specialist tries their best to spend the tags before the season's end, as alligator hunting becomes illegal the moment midnight ticks over on the 30th day. To make up for the lack of goods to sell or even food, the show's cast members engage in many other types of hunts, such as that for raccoons, crabs, and turtles, while fishing for crawfish, shrimp, and other type of swamp marine life isn't uncommon either. In late 2022, the series follows 16 individuals across the marshes, most of whom are from the Pierre Part Census-Designated Place, CDP, Louisiana. There are, however, two particular hunters from Belle River, also, which is considered a small unincorporated community of Louisiana, sitting on Avoca Island Cutoff's eastern side and Shell Beach Road's far west side. The number of its residents is so insignificant that there isn't even an estimated count. This pair is known as Ronnie Adams and Ashley Jones. One thing to note about the show is that it's important for there to always be an even number of cast members, since each one is supposed to have a hunting partner. This is exactly the case with Ronnie and Ashley, who are very conveniently the only two Swamp People hunters in the area. Adams is described by History Channel as one of the bayou's most prolific hunters, with unparalleled navigational skills even in the most remote parts of the surrounding swamp. In Season 13, he had an additional challenge: get all his tags in despite the massive damage caused to the local area by Hurricane Ida. Known to the worldwide audience as Deadeye, Ashley Jones is the one in charge of dispatching the alligators once they're caught on the bait lines left out by the duo all across the swamp. Her job is absolutely crucial for the duo's success, as a misplaced round can easily leave the alligator alive and whoever's in the boat in grave danger of losing a limb or even their very life. Alligators are killed as soon as possible upon being reeled in by a single shot through the brain from a very powerful rifle. This isn't always an easy task, even for the most experienced of shooters, as the wild predators tend to panic from being pulled in, often spiraling into a barrel roll to try and free themselves. It is then Ronnie's job to tire the alligator out so that the spinning stops and Ashley can get a clear shot. Because their skin is so thick, an alligator would have to be fully riddled with bullets for its heart to finally stop beating if shot at during the deadly spin. They are very durable hunters themselves with unprecedented resilience. For these reasons, and to avoid spending too much ammunition, most of the time alligator hunters fire only one single shot. There is also the aforementioned weather factor. Since the swamp can become extremely hot during the noon sun, the heat of which causes dizziness, profuse sweating, and even heat stroke, Ashley has to try to maintain absolute focus through hours of slowly navigating the swamp from one trap to the next. Thanks to her femininity and overall lighter build, she's able to take the heat more easily than, say, someone who is 6 feet 5 inches, 195 centimeters tall, and weighs, say, 260 pounds or 118 kilograms. This someone happens to be exactly Ronnie Adams, who can't help finding the sun unbearable during certain days on the hunt. Such was the case in episode 6 of season 10, when the two had run their lines as they normally tend to do. In the video uploaded to YouTube by History Channel, Ronnie can be witnessed at the end of his tether after only 12 of 40 lines run and 9 alligators on board. Desperate Ronnie says, "I think it's like 97, 98 degrees, 36 degrees Celsius. And that's just the temperature. I don't count the humidity. I mean, it's unreal." Ashley adds, "Feels like there's nowhere to hide from the heat." To which Ronnie responds, "Can't. Even the shade is hot." For the cameras, he says, "Big guys tend to dehydrate quicker than the small ones. I mean, we just sweat a lot. We lose all our fluids, and next thing you know, you start cramping up. We need to stay safe." With his face dripping as he bends over his knees in agony on the boat, Ronnie says to Ashley, "Give me a second." His face is bright red, sweat covering all his skin, as he huffs into his hand, seeming into the edge of vomiting. It is apparent from this shot that Adams can't afford to wrestle another gator for Ashley to shoot, as standing in the heat and using his strength could prove fatal. As for the cramping that accompanies severe dehydration, he said, "I felt it coming in my quads and in my groin. I could feel the cramps, and I knew it was going to keep coming, and they just kind of get worse and worse and worse. Before long, your whole body is totally locked up." To remedy this issue, he looks at Ashley and says, "We're just going to have to take breaks through it, babe. We catch a gator. Take a break." While slowing the hunt down would definitely be beneficial to Ronnie's physical health, the duo is on a tight schedule due to the hurricane delaying them in starting the season. Adams remains well aware of this too. Ashley seemed to worry more about her partner, saying, "Look, Ronnie, listen to me, seriously, you can't." Ronnie can't be held back, however, and replies, "I gotta run these tags. I'm not missing out on these gators. Whatever they got left on the lines, I need to run the lines. I gotta run these lines, Chief." Jones, still visibly worried about his health, huffs, "Oh my God." Interviewed by History Channel's filming crew, she says, "Ronnie's always a little hard-headed. It's tough." Finally, she throws out the idea to Ronnie that maybe they should switch roles, as pulling a trigger in the heat wouldn't be nearly as taxing on a dehydrated body. She says, "Why don't you let me pull him?" Ronnie becomes confused momentarily, giving her a puzzled look and asking, "You're gonna run the lines?" The hunting couple then reluctantly agreed on the new strategy, and the hunt continues. Right before that, though, Ronnie makes sure that Ashley stays safe throughout the rest of the day. He turns to her and says, "Listen to me, when you're running that line and you're holding it in your hand, if that gator is a big one and he pulls from you, I need you to let go of the rope, okay? If you do this for me, we can definitely knock him out and get it over with." Before even reaching grabbing distance of the very next line, they spot a caught alligator already rolling in the muddy water. Ashley has a worried look on her face, saying, "Oh man, he felt us coming. That's a big one." Ronnie tells her, "God, I can't believe I put you on this gator." She starts pulling the line as the alligator spins violently, yelling, "Hammer down, Ronnie, hammer down! Get him!" However, Adams is unable to get a clean shot off, especially because he's not normally the shooter. He says, "I gotta just get the head out of the water. He's in a roll." The pressure keeps mounting as Ashley says, "I can't hold him any longer now. Pop him." Trying his best to aim well, Ronnie gets closer to the water, and as the alligator rams the right side of the boat, it smashes the butt off the rifle, knocking it clean out of Ronnie's hands. In this case, most hunters will either grab the spare rifle or, if there's no spare, they would end the hunt and return with a new one. Ronnie, however, doesn't really have that innate fear of alligators, having spent the entirety of his life around them. He looks at Ashley, who is visibly shaken, and asks, "Do you see it?" Ashley then shows exactly why she is paired up with someone as gutsy as Ronnie, saying, "Hold on, let me hold on to him," allowing Adams to stick his arm into the water and take the rifle out. He eventually succeeds, shooting the alligator through the skull at the perfect angle. Ashley then excitedly hauls the carcass into the boat after a few unsuccessful attempts, brimming with pride from her first ever line pull, while Ronnie rests to shake off some more heat. Iconic moments like these are what truly makes Adams and Jones stand out. While it's easy to conclude that Ronnie and Ashley are married, or at least in a romantic relationship, this isn't the case. It doesn't help that Ronnie's go-to word in his every speech is baby, which he calls Ashley all the time. That being said, neither Ashley's nor Ronnie's partners mind this habit. Ashley is actually married to Chad Jones, an attorney employed in a law firm situated in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They have 3 children together and a very happy marriage. Ronnie is married as well to Jen Smith, whom he began dating on the 27th of March, 2019. With no children of their own, they are still one big happy family of 5, thanks to Ronnie having custody over Hannah, a daughter from his previous relationship, and Jen taking care of her 2 children as well, also from former romantic involvements. In late 2022, Ronnie is still just as busy as ever being with his family and filming new episodes of Swamp People. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.